Happy Monday. That's right. It's Monday. All of our dreams have came true. It's the beginning of the work week, and we're talking about a working man and the district. And just a quick note from our friends over at Blackout Coffee Company. Make sure you head over and give them a try. Links in the description. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope your weekend was great. Ours was fantastic, and then tornadoes started coming in last night. Luckily, they went elsewhere. That was fun. I hope you guys are doing great and ready for a great week. I am. There's lots to do this week and lots to talk about. But today, we are talking about a working man and the district. You've probably never heard of the district, but we need to talk about it. It's really important. Real quick, let's look at a working man. A Working Man 2025 rated R, hour and 56 minutes. This is the newest Jason Statham beats up everybody movie. This is based on a Chuck Dixon novel. Levon Cade left his profession behind to work construction and be a good dad to his daughter. But when a local girl vanishes, he's asked to return to the skills that made him a mythic figure in the shadowy world of counterterrorism. He was a special forces soldier. That's what he was. I don't know why they have to make it all complicated. Directed by David Ayer. Written by Sylvester Stallone, David Ayer, and Chuck Dixon. And that, my friends, may be the problem here. Starring Jason Statham, Jason Fleming, Merib Michael Pena's in it. Several people. There's a lot of people in it. David Harbour's in it. Here we go. First things first, this movie is definitely watchable. Anything you know about Jason Statham movie, Jason Statham plays Jason Statham and proceeds to beat up everybody. And that's exactly what happens here. But there's some problems. And I was afraid of this when I heard David Ayer was doing this movie. I talked about this with The Beekeeper. David Ayer did The Beekeeper as well. The main structure of The Beekeeper, the main storyline about The Beekeeper was brilliant. But then it had the messaging with the FBI lady and all these side things that were unnecessary and made the film horrible overall. And it's sad because I could watch 10 movies about Jason Statham as the Beekeeper if it's just a solid Jason Statham movie. Now, I don't know who added those parts that were bad to Beekeeper, but David Ayer was the director, and therefore the buck stops with him. With A Working Man, same rules apply. I went into this 50-50. I wasn't sure if it was going to be good or not, and I was a little concerned. I will say it's not full of messaging. No, not at all. And it is a great action flick. But there are bits of this movie that make no sense. All the bad guys are dressed like they're at a costume party. They're dressed weird. I literally, in the theater, when I saw this, said out loud, when the bad guy showed up, I said, look, it's Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. This is the Russian Mafia. And they were all dressed like they were either from the Matrix or they were going to a costume party and it was Halloween. There are bits of this movie that make absolutely no sense at all. Now, Sylvester Stallone, I'm a fan of his writing. He has written some great stuff, and he's a great actor. So I don't really think it's him. I have not read the book, but I can't imagine that these costumes were part of the book. Maybe it is. Have you read the book? Tell me in the comments down below. Maybe I'm off course here. But then you get to David Ayer, who had a hand in writing it and directing it. And on top of that, half the time I couldn't tell if they were speaking Russian or English. Either way, I couldn't understand them. This movie needed subtitles because several people in this movie sounded like they had marbles in their mouth. I have no idea what you just said. Literally had no idea. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but it needs some work. And I'm hoping when it comes out on physical media, maybe they'll fix some of the audio issues. I mean, they can't very well change the way everybody's dressed. So, is it watchable? Yes. Would I suggest you spend the money going to the theater to see it? No, not really. It's not really a theater movie. Generally, a theater movie is a spectacle. Our local theater, which is horrible, has raised their prices on their concessions, which is fine. I get it. That's how they make their money. But I just didn't feel like this movie was necessarily a theater movie. It'd be more comfortable watching it at home when you could put the subtitles on and maybe understand what half the people are saying. So now let's talk about The District. If you want to go see it, go see it. It's exactly what you think a Jason Statham movie's going to be. And my friends, that's not a bad thing. Jason Statham is great at playing Jason Statham, and he's great at the action movies. Fantastic. That's what he's known for. That's why people go to his movies. That's all you need. When I was younger, I saw this show called The District. It was made from 2000 to 2004. It was on CBS, I believe, or USA. Either way, CBS had a big hand in it. This is a fictional story about a real person. The District, 2000 to 2004, 44-minute episodes. Chief Jack Mannion becomes the police chief of Washington, D.C. and cleans up the nation's capital. All right, created by Terry George and Jack Maple. Now, Jack Maple is the actual person that this show is about. Starring Craig T. Nelson, who does a fantastic job in this show. He really does a great job. Roger Aaron Brown, Sean Patrick Thomas, Lynn Thigpen. She is a cornerstone in this show, and around the third season, she passed away in real life, which caused some real damage to the show because everybody loved her character, her and Craig T. Nelson. This is about a police chief that uses statistics and crime numbers to lower crime. Kind of like Moneyball. If you remember that movie with Brad Pitt about where they use statistics in baseball to pick better players. Chief Jack Mannion, or Jack Maple, the real person, used statistics and created a computer program called CompStat so that you could pull up the numbers of any crime, find the areas it takes place in, etc., etc. And it is so popular, most every city is using that program now. Doesn't mean it's perfect as we see in the news today, but in New Orleans, where they used it, their crime dropped by like 50% in a matter of months. Either way, this show is fantastic, and they've done a great job. Now, Jack Maple, who was involved in making the show, he was involved in writing some of the show when it came out, sadly passed away about less than a year into it. But I will tell you this takes place in Washington, D.C., it follows exactly what you would expect it to follow. The Republicans are bad. The Democrats are all the good guys, but that's just a side part of it. I don't want to scare you from watching this because it is a wonderful show. Are there things in it that's kind of like, really? Yes, because Hollywood was involved. But this show there's no DVDs out. 4 seasons, mind you, of a beloved show. People that they watched the reruns of this for years and was taken off the air, like the reruns, and it's been impossible to find since then. You could find it on YouTube on occasion, but it would be really bad copies of it that looked terrible. I'm here to tell you, you can watch this for free right now on the Roku Channel. It doesn't matter what Fire Stick or Roku or whatever you've got. You can download the Roku Channel and watch it for free. It's ad supported, but I've been watching the first season. I've watched 12 episodes now, and I saw maybe 1 ad per episode. Like, it's not obtrusive at all. So there you have it. My advice would be to watch this show because it is fantastic. It's a great procedural, it's great action, and as I said, Craig T. Nelson does a delightful job as this unique person who cares about the numbers and wants to make the world better. So there you have it. 1 movie, 1 show, 1 alright, and 1 really good if you can get past the nonsense. That's it for today. We'll be back on Hump Day. For Michael, the microphone, Bob, squeaky chair in the back, and this big fat nerd. We'll see you then.
Thank you.